Welcome to the Husk Guys Podcast.
We are live. What's up, everybody? It's a Wednesday night. It's a Victory Wednesday, and we are all the way back from being dead. We were dead, and now we're back. We died. We have risen. We are all the way back after a win over UCLA. I love doing recaps after wins. Don't enjoy them after losses. I am here tonight. I'm David. My brother Andrew is here. Andrew, how are we feeling on a Wednesday evening, heading into a bye week?
We were never dead, I believe, all along.
We died.
I knew. I just knew. I knew. I had a feeling. I never gave up. I never once said this season is over, like
That's
everybody else.
I said it
a few times, but that was said to you in privacy. And
okay.
No, I honestly, I'm glad to have you back. Last week, I think you were just a mangled corpse of yourself. And I probably should do better as a brother checking in on how you're doing, because I feel like your mental health was just in the sewer. I mean, just in an absolute gutter, just yelling at the kids, screaming at Holgerson in your sleep. I mean, it was a tough week after USC. But what did I tell you? This season is not over. We've got a better bowl game to play for. We've got the future to play for. And what difference a week can make in the psyche of Husker Nation. I don't care how just pitiful UCLA is.
Doesn't matter.
We took care of business. And we just looked like a more physical, more complete football team. And that just let it feel good, you know?
We got a lot to cover tonight. We're going to cover Lateef. We're going to tell Emmett Johnson and the Heisman campaign. We are going to cover a full UCLA recap. Talk a little bit about what this means for the rest of the season, the back half of the year, or back half, the final two. We got Penn State. We got Iowa. We got some bowl game options. Before we get into that, make sure you guys check out huskguysstore.com. We got awesome gear. It's coming up on Christmas time. We got our gift boxes that are going to be back live here just in time for Cyber Monday, Black Friday sales that are coming up. So check out huskguysstore.com. And as always, follow us. Check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We're over 150,000 followers across all of our channels. We're very proud of the growth that we've had, and love all of our fans and followers that have followed us over the years through this epic roller coaster. So huskguys.com, as well as check out all of the Husk Guys channels that we are promoting the positive vibes as much as we can for this Nebraska football team. So that's where I wanted to jump off and start with is I did die last week. I have for those who have followed us for a long time, you know, like I ride a very emotional roller coaster. I don't have the emotional maturity to like podcast after games or talk after games. I sort of just spiral pretty badly. I take them very personally. And the hardest loss for me every year is the one that mathematically eliminates us from the playoff, from contention, from anything like that. Right. I know it's completely irrational. I know it makes no sense. I know that like you go into the season and the realistic expectation is, 6, 7, 8 games. I go in every year thinking we're going to win, and I think we can win it all. And I think when then that reality hits that there's like absolutely no way that we can win, I take that loss very hard. That loss was the USC loss. For the entire Frost tenure, mind you, we lost the first game every single season. So I actually experienced this like devastation in September 1st or 3rd or whatever it was every Frost season. So the fact that I made it all the way until November 5th.
Oh, this is a nice reverse pat yourself on the back here.
Yeah, to me. Well, we made it all the way November 5th.
Shout out to myself for holding it together.
We played all the way until November 5th, meaningful football. But then that loss, I have a really hard time with the fact that you have to go like within 1 week, you have to go from like, wow, if we beat USC, we are an 8-win, we're a 7-win team staring down the playoff, and all we got to do is beat UCLA, a very bad Penn State team, and heading into Iowa. Like I had that in my head, and we're up 14-6. You get that ripped away, season's over, and everyone's like, oh, okay, it's okay, we can play for a bowl game. Doesn't do it for me. But I've been pulled out of the depths by that unbelievable UCLA performance. I just have a hard time going from like, we're playing in the playoff to like, oh, I hope we go to Tampa. It's just not like, doesn't get me going. So that's That's my own like emotional roller coaster that I've been on the last week. So Andrew did a solo pod because I just don't have the emotional maturity to pod after a loss. But that's it.
I just got out there and went for it. There was still a lot to unpack. Truly, you hate to say it, but we lost and we deserve to lose. The USC game, it just stands out as another game where it's like, I think we're closer than we realize. Like we're right there with these top 25 teams. And I know we've been saying that over and over
for
and
10
over
years.
and over and over for 10 years. But we didn't play all that bad. We just kind of couldn't close the deal. But I mean, the fun hypothetical that you can throw now is, what if Lateef started that whole game? Or conversely, what if Raiola played the whole game? And like you can kind of like tease that out a little bit. Who knows if it makes a difference? We lost the game, whatever. I'm moved on. But the fact is, getting this win at UCLA and looking as we did, here's a statement. Probably the best the offense has looked since the Akron and HCU games.
Without a doubt. It's the best. It's far and away the best we've looked in a Big Ten game.
In a Big Ten game, yeah.
Absolutely the best we've.
This for Maryland, I guess, like for the offense. But Maryland, we had 3 interceptions. So
3 interceptions and just some weird games. No, I think, and I think the surprise coming into it, we can jump right into Lateef, is I think I was very down. Raiola broke his leg, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yes.
He breaks his leg, and the performance that Lateef had at USC, I legitimately thought he looked like an 8th grader. I just was like, he was not ready for it. He couldn't catch a snap. He couldn't do a basic handoff to Emmett. And then every time he ran the ball, he got clotheslined, and I thought he was going to break his neck. So I'm coming out of that game like we're out of the playoff, and the season's over, and our quarterback broke his leg, and we have an 8th grader playing quarterback. So the fact that Lateef shows up to UCLA and scores every time he touches the ball, completes every pass he throws, and makes this offense look like we haven't seen all season. It was the most shocked I've ever been. Like, I knew he did well because he did well. He did well at Akron. He did well at HCU. But I like watching him get clotheslined at USC and being unable to hand the ball off to Emmett. I was like, we're going to lose by 5 touchdowns.
He does look about 150 pounds. And
he is soaking wet.
At some point, that could be a problem, like as soon as next week. But yeah, no, I think just watching it and then watching the extended highlights, just focusing on Lateef, like probably the biggest thing that stood out to me was how rolling your quarterback out with designed, bootleg and rollout passes can lead to 0 sacks from the same O-line that gave up 9 to Minnesota.
Correct.
That is a big difference. And then number 2 is what Lateef does for Johnson and what Johnson does for Lateef. And then number 3 is, and Rule touched on it, the O-line is actually pretty good at run blocking.
Yes, correct.
And that is their strength. Like, we have a good interior O-line. Like, it's been a tackle problem all year. Like, people say it's the whole O-line. It's more so just our tackles. And Gatula was so bad. And he got scores of like 0 on the season in pass blocking. But an okay run blocker. Pritchett, same thing. Like, he's not a great pass blocker, but he will maul people running the ball. And I don't know why it took so long, but we just have figured it out these last 3 games that Emmett Johnson is apparently a Heisman caliber running back.
It's an he's going to be a first team All-American.
Very well could and should at this moment. The next 2 games are going to dictate that. Like, that's
correct.
You're about to play the best 2 defenses you might have seen all season. So, let's take everything with a grain of salt here. The final thing, I guess, is that our wide receivers and tight ends also kind of getting in on the action. Like, I don't know if you've seen Dane Key and Hunter actually sprung Emmett Johnson on that long screen pass and stuff too. So the way that like the offense kind of lifted itself up off of the mat and like, rose from the ashes a little bit there. I think that was the most encouraging thing, was not so much that it was just like the Lateef show. He only threw the ball 15 times, but more so like Holgorsen realized, okay, we're decent at running. They stink at stopping the run. Let's just go to town with our Heisman caliber running back, and let's keep it really easy for Lateef. Like none of these plays were like complex.
But that to me is like, this is where this whole thing has like been a shock to the system watching him play, because I feel like it's a thing we've been ranting about on this podcast from the beginning, is like when Raiola like drops back, he has 9 reads and he's looking off a tight end and he's looking deep and he's looking short, and it's like I feel like they just keep coming back to like, he's so smart and he can process the defense and he changes the line and call it the line of scrimmage. And then when he drops back, he's got options deep and they're crossing routes and all sorts of stuff. It's too much. Sure. It's too much. And then he gets sacked, and he gets sacked 9 times because he's sitting back there and he's reading 10,000 things. That Lateef is doing what we have seen Julian Saden doing, and that's what Fernando Mendoza does. And what it's like, what's his name? Ty Simpson down at Alabama. It is literally a snap, 1, 2, make a decision, throw, done. That's it. Yeah. Roll out, first read, throw. And it's like, I get it's like quote unquote vanilla. It is you got your first read, you got your second read. If they're not open, you run. And it's like, that's impossible to stop in the college level. You don't need like 900 reads. You don't need to be Aaron Rodgers back there, which I feel like they've turned Raiola into, because he's so smart and he's so bright and all these things. Right. That this idea that you just like, in the Dane Key crosser towards the end of the game, it was like 1, 2, 3. He runs across, he leads him, throws it in front of him. He's got it. Sure. He rolls out to the right. Yeah. You've got Hunter like rolling out towards him. I just feel like that level of like, they dumb down the offense, but like, why is the offense so freaking complex? It's like,
I think it's also like a style thing. I think Lateef, obviously the mobility adds a huge dynamic, but you can tell that he is basically only going through like the 2 progressions as opposed to like,
great.
I know it's, I know.
Great.
Yeah, we saw it's fine. It worked and it is fine. But I like the deal with Raiola and how the offense was called is, if you have an above average pass blocking O-line, we would be an elite offense. But we don't. And so if you hold the ball for longer than 3 seconds, I mean, Raiola's 3rd in the country in completion percentage. We know he can complete the passes, and that's with getting sacked every other play. Almost 10% of the time he passes the ball.
How many of those sacks are his fault though? He runs into linemen, he can't scramble away. I don't know. I just thought there was an element of
that is absolutely all true. But the point stands, like, you in college football, you can run a pro style type offense, which Holgorsen clearly wants to run a little bit of. You can do that if you have an O-line that's as good as Alabama's, or if you have an O-line that's as good as Ohio State.
Sure.
Like Julian's saying, we'll pick you apart if you give him a little bit of time, and you just have these receivers that are better than the other team. And then that's your running game, that's your passing, whatever. You can do that in college. We don't have that though.
I guess that's where I'm stuck. And is like, we're not going to get it.
Like Lateef can absolutely cover up your flaws big time.
We're not going to get it next year. Like, we're not just going to magically have 5 All-American.
It's not magic. It's not the transfer portal.
Well, fair. But I just, maybe that happens in the offseason. I don't know. I just am like, watching him, it's like that ability that, and so many teams have done it to us, that if we are like, and now I actually want to pull up this stat that I had of, how many times have we completely shut down? We've completely shut down the passing game of most quarterbacks we played. And I looked this all up. But then when they run the ball, it adds an entirely different element to our defense. It stresses you in an entirely different way. Here it is. Okay. So this is like a bigger quarterback breakdown. We have held on the defensive side. We're jumping around, but this is like all related to Lateef. We have held to season lows. Brendan Sorsby had 69 yards. That's the lowest he had all season. Mayava had 135 yards. That was his season low. Childs had 85 yards passing. That was his second lowest. Underwood had 105 yards. That was his second lowest. Lindsey was his 150, Stone 150, and then Iamaleava 191. But every single one of these guys was able to make up for that. With Sorsby had 96 yards rushing, Mayava had 62 yards rushing, Nico had 86 yards rushing. Every one of them put up 100 yards on the ground because when you take away the pass, they can run. Rayola cannot do that. Lateef can. And I feel like that element of your ability to add the element of the rush as a quarterback just changes everything from the offensive standpoint. And I don't know, it makes it the way that offense was moving on those first four scoring drives. I was like, wow.
It is very interesting at the macro level, just because. So I don't know if you dive into advanced analytics on the NFL as well, but this season, at least as of a couple of weeks ago, featured the most quarterback scrambles at that point in the season of all time. And so there is like a big priority in the game just as a whole being placed on on exactly what Lateef did. Like, use your legs as a weapon, stay safe and get out of bounds or whatever. But look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and that, like, it's almost like a college game kind of trickling upwards to the NFL. Like, all of these guys at the very top are mobile. Like, Mahomes is actually rushes the ball pretty well. Herbert is doing the same. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Like, of those top 15 quarterbacks, most of them actually use their legs pretty effectively, with exception to, Goff and Stafford and stuff. The point is, like, at the college level, the same thing is happening, but on a much broader scale. It's just, you don't have like this confinement of resources that's consolidated in the NFL where like all the good offensive linemen go.
Yeah.
You have much worse offensive lines. You have to change your scheme. You have to have mobile quarterbacks. And like, Nebraska has an atrocious pass blocking offense. So how do you cover it up? You just get somebody that can run for their life a little bit better. And then your offensive line gives up 0 sacks. But
I just thought even like the play calling was creative. It was everything that I feel like I haven't really seen from Dana of like, I mean, we were running wheel routes to Emmett Johnson out of the backfield. We were running screens back to Emmett Johnson, the roll right, throwback left, the crossing routes, like the simple crossing routes across the middle that Dane Key was running, Hunter was running. It was everything I was hoping Dana would be. And I just feel like we haven't seen that. It ends up just being this kind of frustrating, like kind of meandering offense. But this was like an attacking run, running Emmett Johnson, feed him the ball, feed him, get Lateef rolling out wide. I just thought it was extremely well done. I think that the hard part about this is UCLA is probably terrible. And I think it's it's probably a similar level of like the optimism coming out of Akron and HCU. I think, you can anchor a little bit on UCLA.
He's played against HCU.
He's completed like 96% of his passes this year because he just has like nobody's ever batted the ball down. Is 85? Oh.
But yeah, he was 13 of 15 against UCLA. And then
it's like 12 for 12 against Akron or whatever.
Yeah, 11 of 12 or whatever in that game. But he completed his first 11 passes, didn't he? Or at least his first 10 against.
I mean, I'm burnt. Like I'm nervous for Penn State and Iowa only because he looks terrible against USC, and that's my like. And so it's like you have to caution all of this with like, we'll see how he does against Penn State and UCLA. It was more or Penn State and Iowa. It was more to me just like, this was the first time that I had the aha. This is what the offense is supposed to look like. This is the Dana that was promised us. This was like the effective offense. Like, let's pound the ball and go forward, run the ball, roll out, throw crossing routes. And all of that was exciting to me of like, this is the Dana we were promised. This was like the team that I thought we were going to be. It's like the one, it's like the Scott Frost Northwestern game when you're like, there it is, like, there it is. And we only won by 1. We only scored 28 points, but we scored scoring on 4 straight was just like, that was awesome.
I think it was just like the cleanest that it looked. And it also looked like like Holgerson probably feels a little bit more comfortable calling this type of playbook, I guess. And I actually don't think it was that complex. Like, I know it looked nice, the wheel routes and the screens and stuff, but like, it's fairly vanilla. I mean, we ran the ball. Like, I think we ran less than 60 offensive plays.
Yep.
A majority of them were runs, and Lateef only threw 15 times.
But I think
better. It was better executed, and then when Lateef ran, we were like, "Oh,
I'm saying, like, think about the games
new to account for."
The single most frustrating games we've had this year, Minnesota, what'd they do? Nothing. They just ran it at us. They ran bootlegs. They ran crossing routes. They ran slow drags across the middle. I'm fine with that. Like, I'm totally fine having 4 plays in this entire offense. Like, I feel like we've created this monster of, like, it's like, oh yeah, Minnesota's boring. It's like, they beat us. Michigan, they didn't do anything. Michigan ran the most boring offense. They just ran at the middle every time. They plowed us over. Like, I am totally cool with, a boring run the ball and then like do some boots and get it going. That I just don't need that. The 900 reads that Rayola does that they then get sacked on. I'm like, yeah. Okay, great. You ran that was a play that the Packers drew up. Great. Great.
Didn't work.
Yeah. Next one. Yeah. Here's another question that we can jump to Emmett Johnson after this, but yes. I've been trying to like legitimately think through this.
Okay.
And everybody's already jumping to like the Lateef Rayola thing, like what's going to happen in the offseason. And we have to wait for the next 2 games because he might
definitely first of all, definitely wait.
Yeah, he might go. He might not make it
8 for 15 next game, and then you're like,
he might, or he just breaks his leg and he gets someone at Penn State snaps him in half. I just,
my God, he is broken in half.
The Rayola question is interesting. Like, do you think he will get drafted next year?
Not right now. No. At this like if you said at this very moment, no. I mean, I could, like 7th round, 6th, 7th, somebody takes a flyer or something at best.
Next year, after his junior year.
Oh, yeah. So okay, after next year, yes.
In like a high round?
Actually, no. I think he needs 2 more years. I really actually do. Like,
yeah.
And again, that's me right now speaking. I might say something different next October or something, but like right now, I don't think that he's going to be able to like rinse what we saw this year fast enough in 1 year's time. Like, I think most NFL scouts are going to tell him like, ugh, unless he just like puts it all together. Because again, he's third in the country in completion percentage. He had 2,000 yards passing in 9 games. Like, he's good. He is. In fact, he is very good. Yeah. But he needs to get out of his own head, and we don't really have the personnel right now to support him. So, like, if he's going to be here next year and he's hoping to get drafted, it's got to be like okay, now he's developed. Like, now he's more polished as a passer. Now he knows how to get rid of
it'll be interesting to watch because I think ever since he committed, for one, I just thought he was on 1-year rentals. I was like, he's going to transfer after his freshman year. He had transferred to 4 high schools. Like, he'll transfer freshman year, he'll transfer after sophomore year. Like, the fact that he keeps staying, I think, is great for us. But then I thought, like, at the most we'd get him for 3 years and he'd go to the NFL. And then I think when you look around college football and you watch these guys who are going to be Julian Sand plus Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza, like, they're breathtaking. They're just like, they absolutely fire the ball. They spray it all over the field. They complete just as many, if not more, throwing downfield. They throw deep balls, like, they're clutch. And that level, I just don't see him at yet. But now, especially as I think through that, if he's not going to get drafted after junior, we could get 4 years of him. And I think he could be extremely good after his 4th year.
Right.
But that also comes back to Lateef of like, does Lateef stick around for 3 years knowing he's going to back him up that whole time? I think that'll be the equation that plays out over the next 2 years.
On the spot here, just to play a fun game. Who is Nebraska's starting quarterback next September?
Don't know. I think
is Lateef on the roster next September?
I don't know. I say that confidently because I think Rule is like he's betting his career on Raiola, and I think he can't just rip. I don't think he can just rip the ripcord right now and go with Lateef after one game or 3 games or whatever. I just think he's all in on. He's all in the family. He's got his uncle as the coach. He's got his son or his brother coming. So I think he's a starter next year.
Dating Raiola on campus without Dylan is it's hard to even envision that. Right.
So that's, I don't know. What's your answer? That's my answer.
I think the only way, my answer is it's Raiola again, which some people are going to be, a little bit up in arms about, forgetting that he's pretty much one of the elite quarterbacks. He's just not as good as we need him to be, and he maybe doesn't fit the personnel well. But I think it's him. It is the only way that I could see things changing is if Nebraska says, or if Lateef balls out these last 2 games, because the transfer portal opens on January 2nd this year. He leads us to a bowl win, and Nebraska says, I'm sorry, Dylan, we're going in a new direction. Because financially, I think we are tied in deep. His sister's in the recruiting office. His uncle's on the staff. His brother's coming here. Ed was a legend here. Yeah, and not to mention, he still has an NFL arm and talent. If he progresses, he's going to the NFL. That's what else could you want? But is he the best for the current system?
Right.
I think that answer is going to end up, we're going to find out in the next 3 games. It's not going to be UCLA that determines that. It's going to be if Lateef goes out and beats Iowa, no one cares about Raiola anymore. I'm sorry. I love him. I think he's the best quarterback that I've ever watched, just from a pure arm talent perspective at Nebraska. Truly. Just pure throwing the football. He does incredible stuff. But if Lateef goes out and beats, I would even just venture to say 2-1 in the last 3 games. Honestly, beat Penn State at Penn State would be crazy. Beat Iowa, that would be huge for us. I don't even need to say why. And win us a bowl game, that's big time off-season momentum. And then I just wonder, does the pocketbook start to shift? Because right now we've got almost an NFL franchise problem where it's money, the capital gets invested into who you want.
Right.
You can't pay Raiola and Lateef anywhere close to the same. Yeah. And have them both here.
There's a play. There's a play really. This will work out the way it's meant to work out. I guess I've got a feeling, based on what we saw in the USC game with Lateef, I think he's going to come back down to earth a little more for Penn State and Iowa. I just think Iowa's extremely good. They shut down Oregon. They're extremely good.
And defense.
That defense. They can't score. Say that live.
Asterisk.
I mean, that game will be 10-7, and Lateef will be beyond frustrated and will be like.
Well, that's what I mean.
The play to keep him would be there's teams all over the country. Rule said his phone's ringing off the hook. The play to keep him would be we'll give you, a decent amount of NIL, but we're going to develop you and you're the quarterback of the future if you're willing to stay. If you need to go start next year and someone's going to pay you $1 million, I would have a hard time being you need to stay here. He probably transfers.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think the other approach is okay, I don't think he's a multi-touchdown effort against Iowa and whatever and stuff. I agree. And I think then fans are going to say, oh, okay, maybe this is why he's just a freshman. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten ahead of myself. It's okay. I do it all the time. Literally every single Saturday, get ahead of myself. But the way that you approach it is after next season, we're planning on either turning things over to you or Raiola is either going to the NFL or we might let him walk.
Here's the
maybe
other,
that's what you have to say.
Here's the other massive financial variable of this entire thing. And we're 29 minutes in here and we have not yet talked about Emmett Johnson. That has been the other thing that has pulled me back from the grave is the fact that we all of a sudden in week 11 have a Heisman finalist at running back. Emmett finishes the game 232 all-purpose yards, 28 carries, 129 yards, and a touchdown. First Husker since 2017. First Husker since 2017 to have 3 straight 100-yard games in Big Ten play. He had 3 catches for 103 yards, 86 of those after the catch, and he's the first running back in Nebraska history to have 100 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving in the same game.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
Johnny Rodgers never did it, which is crazy to me. Rozier, none of those guys.
Right, with Rodgers.
So he's Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. Maxwell wore National Player of the Week. He leads the nation in yards from scrimmage, 1,400 yards. Second in the FBS in total rushing yards. I mean, we've been saying run the ball. I've got the hat, run the ball, shophuskguysstore.com, shout out. Second in the FBS in total rushing yards. We have a running back that is second in the country in rushing yards. Definitely the best running back we've had since Amir. Rules on the PR campaign, should be a Heisman candidate, Doak Walker finalist, and he's got to be the number 1 favorite to be first team All-American. I mean, talk about next year. Like, does he make $3 million to come back next year? Or does he go to the NFL? I don't know. This to me is crazy because he was not on anybody's list preseason. I was nervous about him coming in. I thought we had an excellent quarterback coming in. I did not think we have a running back that was going to survive the Big Ten. And now here we are with this unstoppable, outstanding running back. What do you make of Emmett Johnson?
There was not a soul in the country that would have. We all knew he was good, but nobody knew of this untapped potential. And I think it's a testament to Holgorsen. It's a testament to the O-line. It's a testament to the receivers that are blocking out there for him, but also a testament to Emmett for just like, he came back last year. He teased around with the transfer portal as well.
He did enter the transfer portal, and then he came out
for like a day. Yeah. He's like, I'm back, and some people missed the news that he even left.
That's like March.
They're like, "Oh, you're back." Yeah, I thought we knew that. But nobody had him on preseason All-American watch lists. Like nobody would have even said he was going to finish top 10, top 20, top 25 in rushing yards. Not with Dana Holgorsen and his quote-unquote air raid. But people forget that Holgorsen's actually done pretty well with running backs in the past. And now he is just feeding the beast. He's getting over 28 carries like every game.
Yeah. But he's got this, like, they commented on it during the game. They talked about it during the game, which, by the way, Tim Brando is... I mean, I don't know how like that guy keeps calling our games, but he is like, I mean, it's like my ears are bleeding listening to him.
Evan Gardner is just like a squealing schoolboy with a excitement about things. Like,
that
was so fun. And you're just like, oh my God, dude.
It's like,
there's so much fun right now. That was a spin move.
The solid verbal guys did a bit that they're like, he was like, I was watching Nebraska UCLA on mute, and then I turned on the volume. I didn't know who was calling the game, and I had Tim Brando in my ear, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? But he I had to rewatch the highlights, and they did the highlights, and they layered on the Nebraska audio because Brando's was like, on Emmett Johnson's, the wheel route and the screen pass, he just was like, look out, look out, look out, look out. I'm like, oh my God. The Husker radio was, here's Emmett Johnson out to the 40, the 45, 50. He breaks a tackle, 50, 50, 45, 40, 40, 35. I was like, that's way better. Anyway, I don't know. I don't even know. I didn't get off traffic, but I literally could not listen to the game. We were talking about somewhere in Emmett Johnson. I had to get that off my chest.
Devin Gardner.
There was the one good comment.
Just always like Oh, Nico, I am a lovey. Like
I am loving. I am a wave. I'm like, you don't even know how to say his name.
Just love football.
What? How do you not love this kid? God,
Chill out.
Exhausting. That's what I meant. What I meant to say was the one good comment they made amongst all of the other ear bleeding comments they made was Emmett like never gets tired throughout the game. It's like one of his things is he seemingly like attacks every run where you're like, he's on run 24, 25, 26. And he has the same level of juice on every one. And then he goes to the sidelines and he comes back and like, he's got that extra juice on like every play that it's very rare to see him not get tired. And he should have been tired because he had 230 yards.
He's also probably like, guys, how could you not get somebody else in the transfer portal? I'm taking 95% of our carries.
What didn't Rule say he has 30? He has like 30% of the team's yards or something on the entire season. It's like just all him.
I think it's 30. I think I saw that it's 37%. Like he has literally over a third of the yards. I mean,
interestingly though, he never gets hit. Knock on wood, but we're 10 games in, and he never gets nobody ever gets like a clean hit on him. Like he never gets his like clock cleaned. He's so shifty and like kind of has that like Barry Sanders thing going on that it's like nobody ever like clocks. He doesn't
preserves himself very well. I mean, like the deal is, it's incredible that he is a workhorse back because I don't think anyone really saw that coming as much. Like I think everyone knew he was good. I don't think anybody would have seen that he would just develop this quickly. EJ Bartholomew is making him look awfully good.
It's a great story. I mean, an unrecruited kid from Minnesota. It's a great story.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't get offers from Minnesota when he was up there, which
Mr. Football.
Crazy. They were down the street. What I was going to say is the NFL versus Nebraska is going to be a very interesting battle. And what we were talking about right before the show is, I think, a super interesting storyline of what Rule was talking about. They covered it on SI on the Husker Corner. Basically, what I think happened, which is happening around the country, is there's a lot of coaches that don't want to stay where they are unless they get some significant NIL investment. Like,
we got it, baby.
It's becoming part of the deal. And he went through this extension, and I think basically in this presser this week, he was like, well, we got the pocketbook a little bit more now. I think it was probably all part of the deal. Like, we didn't pay him anymore. And so what I'm hearing is, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe we do have the money to keep EJ.
I mean,
maybe we do have the money to keep Lateef. Maybe we do have the money to keep Rayola and Lateef. Like, maybe we do have the money to keep Hunter. Hunter's getting calls.
Yeah, I know. Hunter. I'm worried about Hunter.
So we've got to re-recruit and fill up the pipeline in the transfer portal. But like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, Emmett is such a down-to-earth dude. Maybe he is someone that, like, okay, you give me $1 million or $2 million, I'll stick around and get my degree.
Well, I think that's what's interesting about him, because he's probably not like a first rounder. He's probably not a second rounder. But if he plays his way up to be like a third round, like I was trying to sit there, if I'm his dad or if I'm his like advisor, like the way he's rising right now, I'm like, he probably should go. But I also, on the flip side, a guaranteed $2 million from Nebraska is also like
exactly.
Like they're both life-changing. They're both life-changing. Like,
of course,
being a third-round NFL draft pick, like,
if Nebraska
it's good money.
Come through and say, listen, the NFL will be there. Like, can it give you money that is going to be pretty hard to turn down? I know the NFL contract would be bigger, but if we're going to give you, we're going to give you guaranteed money to stick around in the college game with your boys, try and earn a playoff appearance, like. There is definitely something to be said for that. He's going to be on every All-American watch list next year. He'll be like the feature back again. He'll be on Heisman watch lists. Like after the year that he's having right now, I don't know. Maybe that is enticing for like a young guy to. I mean, good Lord, I would pay $2 million to go back to college just to just be with my boys and have a good time.
Just take out a loan.
I'm literally paying.
Where would you even give that? Where would you even give
tomorrow? I'm flying back to Boston. I'm paying a lot of money to go.
Where's you just like show to school? Like, I would like to give you $2 million for you to just let me go drink at your dive bars, please.
But all my friends can come.
All my friends are going to come.
None of us have jobs.
We're not going to study. We're just going to hang out.
And my mom pays for a little bit of this as well.
And I want a fraternity, and I would like to drink cheap beer.
Yeah, college is a great time. Like, let's not forget how good of a time college is.
And and that's what I think you can see at Rayola.
Here I am, Rayola's hoping that the parties are so fun in Lincoln that he doesn't want to leave.
Well, I think you see him at the basketball game. Like, he goes to the basketball game yesterday. He wears the Heisman shirt. They put the Jumbotron on him. Like, that doesn't happen anywhere else. And I think him and Rayola uniquely really like being celebrities in Lincoln. You're not a celebrity if you're a 4th round pick for the Saints. Like, you're just going to go get your behind kicked.
But the NFL does value pass catching backs big time, and guess who's leading the country in receiving yards for running backs? Emmett Johnson.
I mean, he's good. Running back. It's been fun to see. We haven't had this truly since Amir. I mean, when was the last time we had an NFL running back? Probably Amir, right? I mean, but it's been fun to see.
He had a little bit of a run.
A Zigbo, yeah, but it was he had a good run, but it was never this. This is fun to see. It's fun to it's fun to have them go viral and have them the NFL draft guys chirping in and Mel Kiper starting to talk about him and Todd McShay, and that's cool to have, because I feel one of the big knocks anytime we get around to the NFL draft time, I'm I can't believe when a single guy that's going to be up there. It's Ty Robinson, who we thought was the greatest defensive lineman of all time, goes in the 6th round. It's that's right. Selfishly, be it'd be kind of cool to have a 2nd rounder. I don't know. And
then huge lack of skill players, but that have gone as well. But here's another crazy stat about Emmett. I mean, you could just look at his statistics that he's putting up, and it is just wild. And after the Minnesota game, I think we all knew he was underutilized then, and because we thought he looked pretty good then too. But these last 3 games, he's just exploded. But he has 203 rushing attempts on the season. Do you know who is 2nd on the team in rushing attempts?
On our team?
Yeah.
I mean, Rayola?
Well, technically Rayola.
47 sacks?
46 for negative 87 yards.
Great. Awesome.
Okay. Who's 2nd amongst running backs?
I don't know.
Mosey. Guess how many he has?
6?
17.
17.
17 is 2nd on the team. 3rd on the team? You want to know who's 3rd? Quentin Ives.
With 6 carries?
Over a month. No, he has 16. You know who's tied with Ives is Lateef. 16.
There you go.
I mean, it's just crazy. That is absolutely insane that everybody else combined doesn't have near the amount of rushes that EJ has. He's over 200. Nobody else has hit 20.
I mean, that was the entire narrative, the entire offseason, which was my number one biggest concern was we don't have a backup running back. We don't even have a starting running back that's going to last the entire season. And here we are. We were true on the backup. We were not true on having a workhorse who's going to carry and put the team on his back for the entire season. That was just not something I expected. But so EJ's good. TJ's good.
TJ's good.
We have now achieved our first 7-win regular season since 2016. We've beat a lot of bad teams, but it doesn't matter because we normally lose to a lot of bad teams. First time Nebraska has won in the Rose Bowl since 1993, which is fun. There's an interesting theme that's we talked about it maybe 2 weeks ago, and I've tweeted about it a bunch. There's the team is showing this like maturity, this ability to close out games, which we have not seen, obviously, because we lose every one-score game of all time. And we even lost a one-score game last week to USC. But I don't know. There's an element of like the 28, we're up 28-7. And then Nico starts scrambling. And we just straight up can't tackle him or stop anything. And they score.
Ooh.
And they score again.
Yeah.
And they score again. And so it's 28-21.
For a second. We
talk Blackshirts. I'm going to give the props to the team as a whole, and then we can talk about the Blackshirts. Okay. Props to the team as a whole of like, I am having a panic attack because it's 28-21. I'm like, oh my God, we're doing this again. We're doing the USC meltdown. We're doing the meltdown we've done the last decade. There's something about this team that like doesn't quite get as rattled as like we didn't have the back, that final drive. They run out 4:47 of the clock and just run the whole, we get the ball 5 minutes left and this team's just like, hey, we're just going to, with a backup quarterback, we're just going to drive the length of the field and just run the clock out. Like we've never done that in the history of Nebraska football.
Yeah.
So that,
some of Emmett's best runs of the day too. I mean, just
great runs and great Lateef passes. So, and look at these games and like we had players that were willing to make plays against Cincinnati and Michigan State and Maryland, and now this game and against UCLA, and like all of the wins have had our players step up. So props to them. Yeah. Blackshirts. I mean,
okay.
What are we doing,
buddy?
We went 3 and out in the first drive, and every drive after that, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. It was like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Oh, the 12-play 96-yard death march. That was, I don't want to get dramatic.
Theirs was 17.
They had a 17-yarder, but then they have a
17 and a 12. The 12 play drive was in the fourth quarter.
96 yards.
96 yards.
96 yards. To make it 28-21. That's when I was tinkling in the pants a little bit. It was just crazy to watch, like just the lack of ability and athleticism, I guess. Like McCullough, we missed so much. But that drive, the 12-play drive in the fourth quarter had me extremely concerned. I don't want to be too dramatic, but the trail of tears, like that's kind of what we're talking about here. I think it's on the same level where there's just Blackshirts being left just dead on the side of the road, and just like, and everybody is sad and just mangled and tired, and their legs aren't working anymore, and they're just collapsing. And Nico just killed us. He had 6 runs of 10 or more yards, and we tried to leave a spy, and we just did not have the tackling capability, the form, at some points the scheme. He didn't really pick us apart in the air, but he just had so many scrambles.
And third down conversions and completion. It's also like it was a weird game, and as all these Big Ten games are, where like we had 60 plays, they probably had similar, but they only had 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was 30-30 in time of possession.
They had 7 drives in total. One of them was a 3 and out right off the bat. But then they go 17 play, 75-yard touchdown, 9 play, 40-yard. Then they got downs, which is that fourth down that, unfortunately we stopped. But then they had a 13 play, 51-yard drive, and they fortunately missed the field goal. So like each of their drives is a 17 play, 75-yard drive, 9 play, 40-yard drive, 13 play, 51-yard drive, followed by a 4 play, 69-yard touchdown drive. And then they finally did the 7 play punt, and then a 12 play, 96-yard drive. Like this is a bad UCLA team that, I'm hanging on to the fact that they beat Penn State and they put up a bunch of points on Maryland and they put up a bunch of points to Michigan State. But like the way that they are able to hold the ball for 9 minutes, then 4 minutes, then 7 minutes, then 4 minutes again with our inability to just stop anything was excruciating.
Yes. Like the extreme disparity between our pass defense and our run defense has become almost a handicap, because
I honestly don't
so worried about Nico running that was like one of the only things that opened up their passing lanes at all, is that we had to like leave our linebackers so shallow and just like ready to just watching Nico, and they still couldn't keep up. And he's very good, for the record. I will give him much more credit now after watching him like that. He's just a great athlete, and he can make every single
He's a very
throw.
good athlete.
But like,
I guess what I'm trying to figure out about Butler, we've seen 10 games of Butler, and
he's a secondary coach playing defensive coordinator.
He's actually an NFL coach. Yeah. And he's like in the NFL, and I've listened to enough like people break this down. People who are like
secondary coach there too.
Well, but like in the NFL, your entire strategy is to stop the pass, right? Sure. All defenses are built. You have to stop the pass because their quarterbacks are unbelievable. Yes, you have to stop Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes. If you can't stop them, the game's over. So they're all built to stop the pass. You got to stop the pass. College is not that way. These quarterbacks are not good enough to pick you apart the way that Josh Allen can. So these quarterbacks are like, they can, if you're playing Julian Sailor or Ty Simpson, like these quarterbacks can pick you apart, but like if you can't stop the run in college, you're screwed. Like you're just there's nothing that can be done. So I look at these and I like, if I'm him, and this, I'm putting up this stat for those who aren't looking at it, that like the Blackshirts have held all of these quarterbacks to these season low numbers. Like part of me is like, you see this and you're like, okay, he had a season, Brendan Sorsby as an example had a season low 69 yards passing, and he made up for it with 96 yards rushing. He averages 330 yards passing a game. You add these two up, that's still 150 yards. And part of me is like, if he's just trying to take away, like Mayava, he had 135 yards passing. He averages 330 as well. He picked up 62 on the ground. It was backbreaking, but like, is his entire thing is like, fine, I'm gonna give Sorsby 96. I'll give Mayava 62 yards. I'll give Nico 86, as long as they don't get 330 passing yards. I'm fine with that. It's painful to watch.
The crazy thing too, like you're making good points. And the crazy thing is like that we are so zoomed in on Nebraska that it is easy to forget we are only giving up 295.7 yards per game through 10 games. Like, I know those Akron and HCU games, it seems like just because we played those teams, people discount all of our statistics, which doesn't make sense, and doesn't make statistical sense to just throw out the ones you don't like. But the reality is we are 13th in the country in yards per game allowed. That's not nothing. Like, we are bending, but we are not breaking. And it's super important, like, that you have something that you can hang your hat on. I just think it is really frustrating when we watch these other teams run all over us just at will. But here's the kicker. We are giving up 295.7 yards per game. That's 13th in the country. We have given up 1,611 rushing yards. That is, wait for it, 107th in the country. That's the disparity. So we're 13th in the country in total yards allowed per game. We are 107th in rushing yards allowed. That is one spot behind Utah State, 2 spots behind Western Kentucky, 1 spot ahead of Purdue.
Yeah.
So room for growth.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting because we truly are like holding. Mayava last week at USC, he's gonna light up. He lights up everybody he plays except us. Sorsby has lit up everybody he's played except us. Bryce Underwood's had great season. Like, all of these guys are lighting up everybody but us, and so you can't discount that. But it's painful to watch because then all of these quarterbacks are having career days on the ground, and all of these running backs against us. Michigan hasn't run for 250 yards against anybody except us. Like, they're all having career days on the ground. The Minnesota running back was like their 3rd string running back. I mean, the USC running back was their 3rd string running back. All these 3rd string running backs are like looking like NFL draft picks against us. And we look helpless. Like, the Nico thing was crazy.
The second part of that story too is it's like, okay, the escapability is just absolutely killing us. Like, we don't seem to have the I don't know if it's the athleticism or the scheme or a combination of both, and we just can't keep up with these quarterbacks. But the other part of it is like a lot of defenses that are going to be that like kind of bend but don't break defense, which side tangent. Sometimes defenses get called bend but don't break, and really it's like an announcer's way of saying these guys freaking stink, and they got really lucky that the other team missed a field goal.
They're very bad. Yeah, like they bent and they broke.
Like, oh, this is a bend but don't break defense. Like, who designs a bend but don't break defense? Yeah. The defense bends because the other team is just dicing you up. Anyways.
Also, side tangent on a side tangent. I was thinking about Tony White earlier. How like I still think that's the weirdest move of all time that he left, and he's a fantastic defensive coordinator here, I thought. But for him to go to like Florida State and be on the worst team of the ACC, like you left, they were 2-10 last year, and they're stink again this year. Like I don't know what he was thinking. Anyway,
it is interesting. It'll be very interesting to see where he goes from here because their defense is also not.
Their defense stinks, and now he's like killed his like. Is he going to be a head coach at UCLA? Do they want him? Like I don't know. That's like an interesting side tangent on side tangent.
Not terrible. The Florida State is giving up 21 points per game. That is good for 34th in the country.
But they stink. They lose every game they play.
I know that. Nebraska is 26th in the country. So we are actually doing better than you, Tony White.
Bang, Tony.
That. We are giving up 19.9 points per game, but that is actually an important stat because despite all the rushing yards, despite all of the bend but don't break, whatever you're calling this this defense, points are what matters in the end. And to have a top 26 points per game defense at this point in the season, I think you got to be happy with that overall. Just very discouraging what we saw, I guess, out there against UCLA.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Penn State coming up will be very, very interesting. It'll be. Yeah. They play this weekend.
Penn State is playing Michigan State this weekend, and boy, that could be either like a big like motivator for Penn State, or hopefully it's like a big downgrade.
I think we want them to lose. We want them to lose, right?
Another side tangent coming in hot for you. Did you see the Jonathan Smith controversy? Mel Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it's so stupid.
With the, like recruiting scandals and stuff.
That they vacated their wins. So stupid.
Jonathan Smith has 0 official wins at Michigan State.
Nice.
He's probably like, oh, cool. Thanks, Mel. Great. So I literally have been here for 2 calendar years and I have 0 wins to my name.
Like, I mean, spin zone. He hasn't won that many games anyways.
He might get fired and leave with 0 wins.
Nice. Well, 0 losses too, though?
0 official wins.
0 losses?
No, I think they just take the wins away. I think
the losses stay?
I think you keep the losses.
Oh, God. So he's just 0-12.
He's just he's definitely he's official, like by the official book.
Wait, does the other team get a win, or does the other team that they played get a win?
No, I think they just take it away.
Just disappears.
It's like Reggie Bush losing the Heisman. Like everyone knows he won it, but technically he didn't.
Which the whole thing is remarkable that like Michigan didn't get penalized at all for stealing everyone's signs and winning a national championship, and then Michigan State, who like may or may not have recruited and nobody even cares. Like the fact that anybody even cares about Michigan State, who's completely irrelevant. Like the fact that anybody's even looking into this, it's like, oh, we're gonna vacate your wins. Like what? I didn't even what? They're like, I don't even. Who cares?
This game's already happened.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
We all know who won.
All right, so Penn State, we need them to lose to Michigan State, which they probably won't, I would imagine. But also, I just want this Penn State. I want this Penn State team to be complete. I want them to completely give up. Like what I saw against Indiana, I did not like at all.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying Penn State almost beating Indiana. I did not like that at all. That was not fun.
Okay. That you have a good point there. Like that makes me very uncomfortable. I think I get the whole, oh yeah, you gotta beat the best. You want to beat the best. Like, yeah, I do. I also want to go in with a little bit more confidence, I guess. But I think we can do it. I think we'll probably do more Penn State preview next week, unless you want to do any tidbits right now.
No, I'm more just looking at the back half of the year. So I just
I'm just thinking about. It's time to enjoy the bye week. It's time to enjoy our lives.
Enjoy the bye week. We got Penn State. We got Iowa. We got a potential bowl game that will either be here in Nashville, Las Vegas, Tampa.
Yeah,
we are playing in a bowl game. We are playing in not the worst bowl game because we're not going to be 6-6, which is thrilling. And yeah,
we have to do another shout out to Husker Nation for making some of these bowl games even possible. By the way,
Jim in Minnesota is TJ the next Jaden Daniels? He might be.
Is he then? Jaden Daniels might be the next TJ.
That's right. Jaden Daniels the next TJ Lateef.
Man, gosh, Jaden Daniels. He just demolished his elbow. So if he comes back,
TJ needs to eat like 7,000. TJ needs to eat like 7,000 cheeseburgers this offseason to get to like we need a little more meat on those bones, but
just a lot of Fairbury dogs. But
yeah, so Tampa, Nashville, Vegas are the three options.
Yeah, Tampa, Nashville, Vegas, and like I mean, just the fact that like some of these better destinations are like, hey, 7 wins, that's plenty. You guys are fine. Like we'll take you. Because of Nebraska fans selling 25,000 tickets to the Rose Bowl or whatever it was. Like Sean Callahan seemed to estimate, 25,000 were Nebraska, and definitely outnumbered UCLA fans in their home stadium.
There's 45,000 there. I was surprised it wasn't 40,000 Nebraska fans. Like I don't even think UCLA has 5,000 fans.
I mean, the absolute coolest thing that happens for Husker away games is, it happened in Maryland. It's happened at UCLA. Like when a big play happens and you hear an absolute eruption on TV,
a roar,
as if it's a home game. And then
so that's what it's like. I think it was probably going to be
when Emmett was running down the sideline. Go back and watch that highlight. You're like, this is a sellout for Nebraska. Like this is just crazy. And these bowl games, they want us to be good. They are going to be like fighting over Nebraska fans because it's all about money for them. And we know how to spend it.
Yeah, it's just a glorified
shout out to us for being number 1 in the country in polishing beers with the boys at the games. Number 1. I mean, we've got to have the number 1 away attendance, and we do have, at least so far. Keep up the good work, so people.
How about think about this? Think about how crazy this is. We've had
country. Number 1, $2 million in beer sales.
So we've had 2 away games that were basically home games. Cincinnati in Kansas City had 55,000 Nebraska fans at it, and then UCLA's got 25,000 Nebraska fans at it. So like the only true road games we've played through 10 games are Maryland and Minnesota. So the Penn State will be like a complete shock to these players' system. They're gonna be like, what? Whoa! What are all these like white fans doing here? Like, what is going on? It'll be completely shocking. Out of a 10-game season, they played 2 true away games. This will be the 3rd, and then the bowl game will also be a red out, no matter where it is. I mean, I think Tampa will get. You get to Tampa, it'll be like a complete mayhem scene there. Be fun. But we're talking bowl games. Bowl games are fun. Winning games are fun. Boys are fun.
I'm trying to calculate it just so I can leave you with one good hard stat. I believe I saw we sold 168,000 units or more than that for over $2 million. That is over 28,000 cans of beer and per home game. And let's see, $333,333 per game. So about $350K in revenue per game off of beer sales alone. And it's tops in the country right now. Probably the biggest movement that I've started on Twitter in a little bit. Tips on beer sales for NIL. How soon can we get that going?
The bonus NIL
tip are for NIL. Like, what are we doing? Like you're spending a very stupid amount on this beer as is. Like if you're buying a $12 beer, you're already committed. You're already in over your head. You're already buying something that is worth $1 maybe, and you're spending 12. What's another 5? What's another 10?
I agree. I think we should do it, but I also it seems like we have
round
cash.
Round up to the nearest $1,000 and
swipe your card.
Would you like to round up for our deprived offensive line? I thought it's a great idea.
It's a wonderful idea. I think we should do it. I also think we should beat Penn State and then Iowa and finish with 9 wins, go to the best bowl game possible, and just keep Lateef headed into the offseason.
You know what gets people to spend money? Winning.
Winning gets you to spend money. All right. Shout out to everybody who joined. Appreciate everybody for hopping on the Husk Guys podcast on a Wednesday night. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy a stress-free weekend. Thank God for a fun, stress-free weekend after it. Check us out, Husk Guys, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, all across all the social channels. We got 150,000 strong. Hopefully you could be 150,001. Let's keep it going. Check out HuskGuysStore.com, especially coming up at Christmas time. Go Big Red.